Good evening. This is Black Star, Still Rising, and I'm your host, Stephen Silver Carter. I have a dynamic guest. Today I'm going to introduce him in a few seconds, but also I have an unusual thing. I save my shout outs early for my producers, the studio producers, Rocio Santos and Imani Payne. Thank you so much for keeping this together and getting us going and getting everything right and helping us mic up and everything. Today, the wonderful guest is my good friend and my brother, 06. Stanley Moore.
That's right, Alpha
County
Phi
Commissioner.
Alpha.
County
Yes, sir.
Commissioner, what number? I keep
Fourth
forgetting.
District.
Fourth District. Stanley, you are a lifesaver today.
Thank you.
Had this lined up for a while. And mea culpa, something happened to my schedule, but you got here on time.
That's all right.
I barely got here on time.
We were here on time.
You got here on time, but it's so much that you have to share with us.
That's right.
And I want you to start off a little bit. Tell us. Let me first of all say this one thing. Got to say this. This show is sponsored by Black Star Project, and in memory of Phil Jackson, the founder, the late founder of Black Star. And it goes on through Gloria Smith, and the executive director, his baby sister, has kept Black Star going, and always a shout out to Gloria. Stanley.
Yes, sir.
Come, you're going to have a lot of floor today, brother. Thank you.
Well,
Tell
Stephen,
us what's happening in the commission.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on Black Star, Still Rising.
Still Rising.
I love the title.
Yeah.
Phil was a good friend. Did a lot of great work at Chicago Public Schools, and he's done some amazing things that I'm glad you guys are carrying on his legacy and continuing his work. But Cook County, man,
it's on Spotlight.
we are on Spotlight. Listen, Cook County Commissioner Stanley Moore, 4th District. District is pretty vast. It goes from Pulaski on the west.
I was going to say from can't see to can see.
So Pulaski Avenue on the west, all the way to the lake on the east. And then it goes from about 71st, 75th Street in certain parts, all the way out to Lansing, South Holland, Calumet City, Dalton, Burnham, Evergreen Park, to name a few.
You hit all the high points, aren't you?
Yeah. We consist of 330,000 residents in my district.
That's more than some states.
It is.
Like Wyoming
It actually
and Montana, and they got representation
That's
of the Yang Yang.
Well, look, let me tell
Go
you.
ahead.
Just yesterday, I had the pleasure of sitting with a Kane County Commissioner.
Okay.
And he told me. I asked him. I said, "How many people do you have in your district?" And he said something about 3,000. I said, "What?
Oh, Lord, 3,000.
3,000."
That's all he has to take care of. Huh?
But it's 24 commissioners on their board, and there are 17 commissioners on our board, and we share about 330,000 people per district. So it's very vast. Like I said, I'm made up of multiple wards: 6th Ward, 7th Ward, 8th Ward, 9th Ward, 10th Ward, 21st Ward, a piece of the 18th Ward. We have, like I said, Lansing, South Holland, Calumet City, Dalton, Burnham, and Evergreen. Those are our community groups, and we've done some fantastic work in those areas. I don't know if you've seen, and I forgot to mention, recently we picked up the 19th Ward. So we have a small portion of the 19th Ward, which is Beverly.
So good thing, got somebody that knows how to take care of their constituents.
That's right.
And you're out there all the time. But go ahead.
That's what we
Stanley.
do.
Yeah.
So the Villager today featured me on the front page. I want to thank the Villager for putting me on the front page today. And they talked about the work that we've done in the Forest Preserve.
Okay.
We have done more than...
That includes our biking people.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
did a
Major
lot of
Taylor Trail.
Major Taylor.
You-
Folks,
you have a
get
great
pencil and
memory.
paper. You folks at Atlas, you folks at Croc, get your pencil and paper out because there's going to be some notes and some numbers that we're going to give you a little later on. Okay, we're going to follow up with things. Go ahead,
So
Stanley.
at the Major Taylor Trail, the new visitation center, the aqueducts, the new sitting and bike paths, the trails. We've connected the trails. We've made it more user-friendly. We've made it very comfortable for people to come and utilize the Forest Preserve for what it is meant to be, to showcase the beauty, to showcase everything that's there. And now we're taking up the mantle because when I first got elected, I decided I didn't want any more vacant or abandoned property in my district that was owned by Cook County. It didn't make sense with all the money and the dollars that we're appropriating and spending all over the county, all the way up from Rockford, all the way down to
Wait a minute. Did you say we go as far as Rockford?
yeah, we go all the way up.
golly.
Schaumburg.
Oh, I know.
We go all the way to Schaumburg.
Yeah.
So we have every time we build something on the north side, every time we build something in the northern suburbs, my little hand goes up and I look at the president and I say, what are we building on the south side?
Right. Let's get
What
a
do-
little of that.
That's
that
right.
Budget. That's the budget. That's the budget mover, right?
What's good for the north side is good for the south side.
Okay, then it goes to you again.
That's right. That's right. So we have spent about almost $6 to $7 million in upgrades in just the Dan Ryan Forest Preserve alone. Not to mention
And that
the
used
other
to be the
forest
only
preserves.
place we could go back
That's
in
true.
my early
And
days.
see, you remember when you couldn't take a bus and you had to get off at Ashland,
Right, had to
going
walk
west.
up that hill.
That's right.
Okay.
But today, the Forest Preserve is so widely used. It's very popular. There was some years ago, the president held a meeting out in the southern suburbs, and it was something that caught my attention. Everybody loved to use the exercise stairs in the
Oh, really?
southern
Okay.
suburbs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this set of stairs that go straight up, steep stairs.
Gotta give it work
And
out.
people, there were like hundreds of people out there. And so I thought to myself, in Chicago,
You said
the
Stanley?
highest point.
Okay.
That's right, said
Stanley.
Stanley. The highest point in Chicago is Beverly. Did
That's
you
why
know
they call
that?
Beverly. I thought looking
The
down when you
highest
go down
point
87th
in the city of
Street,
Chicago
yes.
is Beverly.
Isn't that something?
So at the top of 87th Street Hill,
yeah,
on a clear day, you could see all the way downtown.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
And they used to have the ski.
They used to have the ski slopes.
Toboggan
They used to have
slope
the
there.
toboggan slides.
Yes, right.
So I suggested to the board that we take up building. What better place in the city of Chicago to build exercise stairs, similar to the one that they had out in the suburbs?
Okay.
And so we built the Dan Ryan exercise stairs. It became one of the most popular attractions in the Dan Ryan Forest Preserve. People come from all around. I was so proud when we built that because one day.
What part of the site is it on? Is
So
it on
when
the
you
south?
when you enter
when you come up 87th Street,
come up 87th
to
Street,
Western, okay.
before you hit Western, you
Yes.
turn into the Forest
right,
Preserve.
right, the parking
Park
lot
right there in that
Yes,
lot.
Yes,
Walk over towards the visitor center. That's that
where
first
the
building.
that's where the toboggan slide used to be. Right?
That's right.
Okay.
So now we've built the exercise stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw all these women that were running up and down the stairs one day,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, can I ask a question? I mean, you guys look very organized. Are you with a
Uh-huh.
group?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yeah, we're the black female firefighters.
Oh man.
I said,
That's
wow.
how they keep in shape, huh?
She said, we love these stairs
Uh-huh.
because we traditionally would have to practice inside of a building
Mm-hmm.
or some, indoor closed facility where they had to run up and down the stairs
Yes.
to meet their requirements.
Yes.
She said, now we can do this outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And they love it. So it's been so widely used and accepted, and I'm proud to be
Can
the
we get it
person that
named
brought
after
it.
you?
Yeah, well, that's up to the future commissioners.
That's in the distance.
I don't think we
got a
name
few
it
more
anything.
terms.
The Stanley Moore Stairs. Wow. They gonna say he should have used it a little more.
Let me see. You're not quite up to, but anyway, go ahead.
but man, I'm so proud of these accomplishments that
Yes.
we've done. We've done some amazing things. And the other thing that we did recently, I never knew that it was going to be as big as it was. But at the time, we were sitting down, and Juneteenth was not a holiday.
Not a holiday then. Okay.
It was not a holiday.
in Chicago and
It wasn't a holiday anywhere.
Not even in Texas.
We were the first people to create a paid holiday for
Oh, okay.
government employees.
Okay, I didn't know
Okay.
that. Okay,
So
keep talking.
when we brought that bill forward,
Mm-hmm.
immediately we caught resistance. People said, what are you doing? You can't create another holiday.
Right.
Why are you trying to create a holiday for people? But I said the importance of Juneteenth needed to be explained, needed to be taught, and people needed to understand
The
that we need to,
significance, yeah.
the significance of Juneteenth.
Right.
And so when we passed that bill, the state of Illinois immediately took up that bill and followed suit. So Cook County was the first body of government in the country
So it's still a
to
leader.
make that
It
holiday.
continues to be a leader
That's
in the
right.
country.
That's
Cook
right.
County. Well, I know about Cook County.
That's that old John Stroger.
Oh, yeah. What does John do? Talk about voteless people? No, was he talking
Yeah,
about
voteless people, hopeless people. Well, that was Harold.
Okay.
That was Harold.
But he talked about you. Well, anyway, before the program, somebody
We'll
call
remember
call me,
and let us know.
right what it was.
Yeah.
But you know, this month, even though it's Black History Month, we are emphasizing seniors, and the next few programs will be about seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Give our audience, and these are the folks at Atlas and Kroc and all of folks that we're bringing in. Tell us a little bit about some of the programs for seniors, and I think I might add something to it too.
I'm glad you brought that up because today I took a tour, and I'll tell you how it all began. I'll make a long story very short. About December,
Okay.
or maybe before December, I started getting phone calls from some of the residents that were complaining about they were in their homes, they didn't have heat, they didn't have the things that they needed to be able to stay in their homes and be comfortable and to be safe and to be dry.
Yes.
I was getting calls about people who needed plastic for their windows because it was cold in the house. I was getting calls about people who needed insulation. They needed heaters. And we were reaching into our own pockets. And
So
we
you
were
kind
buying.
of a catch-all.
Oh, yeah.
You guys were catching
Yeah.
things that should have been done by the city.
Listen, I'm not going to say who
Well,
said
then,
this,
okay.
but the senator gave me the best advice ever.
Okay.
He said, when someone asks you for something, next time they ask you, tell them call their alderman.
Okay. Start where you're supposed to
Start
start,
with your
right?
alderman.
All right. Okay.
But seriously, we get phone calls from people who are in dire need, people who need services. And so the other day, a couple of weeks ago, no, about a week ago, the president of CETA, Mr. Harold Rice,
Okay.
Harold Rice Jr., he came before the Cook County Board. Well, I took that opportunity, and I didn't mean to be aggressive or to jump him, but I took that opportunity to ask him.
You didn't mean to be aggressive. Please.
I took that opportunity to ask him, Mr. President, how do people get help?
Okay.
How do seniors get help when they need help? You are the president of CETA. This is a
Okay.
very big organization.
Tell them what CETA stands for.
So CETA, I got it right here. Look at this. This is his magazine. He gave it to me the other day.
Yeah, good.
Is we envision supportive and resilient communities where individuals and families are healthy, economically secure, and thrive.
Okay.
That's their motto. And Harold Rice Jr., this gentleman here,
Gentleman there, okay.
is the president of CETA. And I asked him, I said, Mr. Rice, tell me, how do people get help? And I mean, I caught him off guard. His guys weren't ready for me to ask for a direct phone line to call CETA, because typically what happens is they don't take calls directly.
Okay.
They work with churches and community
Institutions,
organizations,
okay,
and
yeah,
people go
right,
there and sign up for CETA programs. But I believe that CETA should be more accessible than that. I believe that people should be able to call CETA directly in a time of emergency and not get set up for an appointment further down the line. So he invited me out today, and right before I came to you, I went to visit his training center.
Okay. It's a new training center. You were
New
telling me.
training center
Okay.
in South Holland.
You said it was state of the art. You were telling me?
State of the
And
art.
what's in the center? What kind of
I
things?
will tell you, man, they have this huge warehouse where they built a Chicago-style house inside of the warehouse.
I mean, Chicago,
Like a
famous
bungalow.
Chicago bungalow.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is
and
famous
they built
around
all the
world,
different
yeah.
scenarios that that particular house could have, like a back porch, like a front porch, like an enclosed back porch, like wood, brick, aluminum siding. He did everything. And this house, instead of putting drywall on the walls, they put like a clear plexiglass.
Okay.
So you could see what
Okay,
is
yeah.
inside the walls.
That's very
The
innovative.
insulation,
Yes.
the R rating on the insulation, where you could see where a house loses its heat and where they need to address. They have a system. CETA is so far in advance. They have this system where they go in and they put a camera in the house, and the camera will show like heat spots where the house is losing its heat and where the cold is coming in, so they know exactly where to attack to insulate your home.
Let me stop you for a brief minute. More of a, I want to get a commercial in. Commercial is you telling folks how to get in contact, who to get in contact with, a phone number, email address, or whatever. And I'll give my email address too for future information when people want to follow up on these points. I know you folks are taking good notes and take this information down. Commissioners are going to tell us how you could make to access these resources that are available to you.
So CETA gave me this document today, and I'm going to read it off to you. These are, in order for you to get support, when you need a helping hand, dial 1-800.
Got that? 1-800.
571.
571.
CETA.
CETA.
So that'd be
C-E-D-A.
CEDA, or 1-800-571-2332.
Okay, you got that? We're going to repeat it at the end of the show too, but make sure if you haven't got your pencil and paper now, write on something. Napkin, toilet paper, whatever. But write on something and get this information down.
Now, let me tell you what they offer here. Family support and community engagement. They have enrollment between February 2024 and October 2024 for summer youth employment, summer camp after-school program assistance,
All right.
scholarship programs,
Amen.
vision, family support, transportation assistance, and then they have WIC programs. Women, Infant, and Children provides one-on-one coaching for nutritious foods, lower income pregnant, breastfeeding, postpartum women, infants, and children up to 5 years old. They provide screening, counseling, and support for WIC-eligible pregnant women and infants. And then, on the back here, home weatherization. That's a big one in our community.
There's one on the southeast side that Cy Lewis and her group, East Meadows, one of the places where you get information about electricity, about power, etc. So that's one of the places that we'll be mentioning too. And we've had her on the show before, and we'll have her another time too. But
I'm glad you mentioned Cy Lewis, by the way. I'm going to give a little plug for her. She invited me tomorrow to a pre-opening, grand opening in my district, tour and tasting at the Urban Lux Cafe.
is that tomorrow or is that
2911.
Saturday? Is that tomorrow or Saturday?
Friday.
Okay. Okay.
You've heard
What's
of it?
No, what time do you have?
So I have 6 p.m. Urban Lux Cafe, 2911 East 79th Street.
Okay. Take this number down, 312-662-3106, and we can verify the number, because I had a 7 to 9. I thought the grand opening was that.
Okay.
And I don't want to get that mixed up. But let me just interrupt here. The next day for sure, from I think it's 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 2nd Congressional District Congresswoman Robin Kelly is having a coffee sip at the same place, at Urban Lux Cafe,
Awesome.
which is at, I think the address is 2911 East 79th Street.
That's correct.
Just off of Commercial. And that's going to be a grand event, and you'll be able to ask questions from the Congresswoman about the district. Go ahead, Stanley.
So I wanted to go back to this real quick because this was real important. There was a gentleman that kept calling my office, and he was saying, you know, Commissioner, I'm living in a house with no heat. I have my children with me. He said, we don't have anything to eat. It's cold. We need weatherization. We need a furnace. We need all of these different things. And I kept trying to go through the website and sign up, help him sign up for CETA. And that was why we were having a problem. So that's why it's so important to have these phone numbers now. If you need weatherization help, it's 1-800.
Get this, 1-800.
1-800-571.
571.
2332.
231.
2332.
2332.
And the person, the director's name is Nick, Horras, Nick Horace.
Okay.
All right. And then also, lastly, utility bill assistance. If you need help paying your bill, LIHEAP, or you need a furnace, the number, again, is the same, 1-800-571-2332. And the energy service provider's name is LaToya Butler.
Okay. I want to hold you for a second there, because I want you to get into one point that we've talked about on a personal basis, a professional basis, And that's the power and leverage that seniors, that our elders have. And I said elders, I didn't say elderly. People who are older but not old. So I want Stan to address that, especially what's coming in August here in Chicago.
What do you mean? What's happening?
The
The Democratic National Convention. Just a little event.
Do we need to be flexing some muscles,
we
getting
do.
ready up to
We
that?
do.
Go Stan, tell how we best can flex, use the muscle, the wisdom of elders in terms of affecting what happens not only with the nomination for president, but where elders fit in, and there's a place for elders in this election.
Let me tell you something. Emo Jones, I'm a student
Yeah.
of Emo Jones.
Yes.
And Emo Jones always told us that our seniors are our biggest voting population. Never underestimate the power of the senior vote. We get organized and galvanize our seniors together. Our seniors are our most vulnerable population that we need to protect and we need to preserve. Our seniors are our population that we are responsible for. And we're finding that out as we get older and having to take care of our own parents.
We've had some people on the show that talked about that, some that talked about Alzheimer's affecting it.
That's right.
And what the caregivers, Dr. Yarbrough, Sherry Yarbrough was on the show a few months back, about a month back, and talked about what happened to her. And now, all of a sudden, she had to be the caregiver,
That's right.
caretaker for her mother. But go ahead, Stanley, please.
I never thought that one day I would have to take care of my parents. And coming to that realization has been one of the hardest decisions, things that I've ever had to do. Taking your parents back and forth to the hospital, caring for them, making decisions for them, when they always cared for us. They always took care of us. They always made sure that we were cared for.
Did you have to take the keys?
And
That would have been a fight, right?
You try and take my mother's keys. See what happens.
That would have been a fight.
My
You
mother's
done
still
learned to
not
box
giving up her keys. Matter of fact, the only reason I'm here is because she went to pick up my daughter.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, but it's a serious undertaking. We could do a whole show on making life choices, making decisions for your loved ones, finding out what the nursing care situation is terrible on my side of town. Well, we have such a lack of good nursing facilities. We have such a lack of home health care, people who come into your home to help you stay with your loved ones so that your loved ones can stay in their home instead of going to a nursing facility. There are some serious lacks in our community that need to be addressed. And it's a sense of urgency because every day that someone can't get care, they get worse. And when you stay in bed, you get bed sores. And the longer you stay in bed or you have urine on your body,
Yes.
those bed sores get worse and worse as time progresses. And if you've never dealt with that, I've never been a caregiver. So for me to have to deal with those type of situations, I was unprepared, ill-prepared.
And I tell our listeners now, it's saying I have viva voce, and it means pass it on. You've got to pass this information on that our Commissioner Moore is bringing to you. I hope you took notes. And if you haven't, if you have to get back to me, use this email address, Silvers Seniors. Silvers Seniors is on the bottom of your screen, champion@gmail.com. Look at the bottom of your screen. Silvers Seniors Champion at gmail.com. And I would add not only champion, but advocate for seniors. And that's what we're doing and what we will be doing for a number of months, identifying the resources, both human and the institutions, as we've been doing, the ones that are effective, the ones that most affect our seniors in our communities in Chicago. Stanley, I'm going to give you some time to end the show in terms of things that you want to leave with our audience. We've got about 30 seconds left.
First of all, I want to say thank you. You've always been there for me. Okay. You've always made time for me to get out and give our message and let the community know what's going on in our offices. Let me leave them with a number, 312-603. 2065.
2065. Better be writing that down. I told you about that.
That's my number. If you need to call my office, 4th District, we're located at 8233 South Princeton.
Okay.
If you haven't visited, please come by. We have a beautiful facility that we we are housed in.
Right across from the bank?
Right across from the bank.
Right, okay.
I share office space with Senator L.G. Sims.
That's a good person.
Yeah, and he's frat.
How did I guess that? We got to plug it, didn't we?
But yes, you got to come by and visit us. The Bordeaux Art Griffin Gallery.
Wait a minute.
We are connected
You said
to
Bordeaux?
Bordeaux.
Okay, not Bordello.
Bordeaux.
Okay, I want to get this spelled straight. Make sure we heard this right.
It is one of the premier art galleries on the south side of Chicago.
That's Mr. Griffin.
That's Mr. Griffin.
One of the baddest artists in the city, and his wife is a great architect.
And she's a great architect, engineer. Look, if you haven't been there, you're missing out. Come by 8233 South Princeton and visit the location. Look at some of the beautiful art and all the things that we have to offer. Beautiful banquet facility, and we're located right behind Bank of America.
That is a marvelous area, even though some things have left. I ain't going to talk about the facilities and the stores that have left that community, but we got to bring it back, and I know you're going to find a way to do it.
We will. We definitely will make sure that happens.
I want to thank you folks at Atlas, and a shout out to Ms. Henry at the executive director or regional director. She has some marvelous programs. Please go down there and find out what they're having the month of February. Is going to knock you out. Everything from yoga for seniors to meals, and they've heard about a Valentine's party that's going to knock you out. Valentine's Day. Some of you, I ain't going to say you geezers, but some of you elders, all right, you're still stepping around, come on down to the Atlas Center right at the corner of 79th and Krieger. I want to thank you folks for coming out, and I hope you all took good notes. And I'll give you my number too, 312-662, what's the rest? 31,
Oh, my number?
no, my number.
Oh, well.
312-662-31, I'm going to give you a hint. What's the last two digits?
06.
06. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us.